everyone. While it is raining outside, I'm just going to put a little candle on. This is the White Company seashells, or Seychelles, which I really enjoy burning, and I'm almost out of it, so it's kind of one of those moods now that I want to relax a little bit and have a bit of swatching time. So I wanted to continue where we left off last time, which is basically, I'm thinking, can you see the candle? Which is basically these two cards. So we looked at this set here, the dot card set, which has 36 colors, and it was put together by this lovely artist. So here are all of the colors we have swatched, and this is the artist Ethel Pajayo, I think. Here is her Instagram if you're interested. And basically on the back of the cards, I will try to link the video up here in this corner for you to check out the swatches, and I have shown all of the bits behind the cards. So these two cards, she recommends to mix the colors for like a color wheel, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to create my color wheel, which is how I love doing them. Super easy. You can get all different sizes done, huge, big, small, whichever way. And I'm going to use this bit of paper left here. So I'm thinking roughly about this size here. I want them to be quite small and neat. So there we go. I'm just going to draw a circle. One this way, one next to it. About here. And then what I do is I separate these like that. I have a video where I am showing you how to create these, so you can go have a look. I'll link it up here, and I will see you once I have done all of the circles, and that's it. Basically it's just continuing until you separate all of them into parts, and then you just draw a line with a ruler to create 3 lines, so like a cross and then one across the cross. So you'd have 3 and 3 on this side, and that's it. Okay, so here they are. I just didn't want to waste space or time rather to film the process, because I want to concentrate on mixing these. Okay, so Hansa Yellow, Antrachonite Red and Ultramarine are suggested as primary colors, and then it says here accent with lunar black. So let's see what happens if in the inner circle we will add that lunar black basically. So for our primary yellow we have Hansa Yellow Medium. These are all Daniel Smith, in case I haven't mentioned. For the red we have got Antraquanoid Red, which is an interesting color. I do not have it, and I actually quite like it. It's sort of between a cherry red. I'm quite picky with reds, but I do find this color actually quite interesting. It's like a pink, like a warm toned pink that's kind of leaning to red. Obviously it's quite strong. And then we have French Ultramarine for the blue. So essentially what we need to do now is mix our secondaries, which I will try to find a piece of something to mix on. So I've got a little T-Rough palette here. So again, let's start with the yellow. I've got plenty of yellow here, but the ultramarine, or the French ultramarine, is finishing off soon. So here's our yellow with a bit of water, and then I'm going to add some red, and ideally you want to meet these two colors somewhere in the middle, but it's also up to you what sort of color you like. So this is a little bit too red for an orange, so I'm definitely going to add more yellow. You need to study your colors. Some of the colors are more strong, more potent in a way, so that you need to use less of them than of the other color. Again, you'd only find out through play and experimenting. So here's our orange. There you go. I'll leave that right here because we will mix in the lunar black to see what happens. And then I am going to mix the red and the blue. So the red and the blue goes on this corner. Let's go into the blue. So that's quite a nice purple straight away. Let's go. I mean, I could go more blue to create more purple. Maybe I should do. Okay, so this is now a lot more kind of cool toned. There you go, that's our purple. And then lastly we need yellow and blue to make a secondary green. Let's do it over here. I'm going to add a little bit of the ultramarine, the French ultramarine, to begin with. That might be too much. It's actually a good green. Okay, I'm going to go with that green. I don't know if you can hear the rain. I have my window a bit open and it's just so nice, especially during the lockdowns. My desk is right in front of the window, so that's my oxygen intake. When I'm in my studio, it's actually quite pleasant. Okay, so then we have lunar black, so we're gonna basically mix that into all of these colors. So I don't know how strong it is. I've never worked with lunar black before, so I'll just use a tiny bit. So basically it mutes the color down, but my guess is also when it dries it will create lovely granulation there. So I might want to take some of this color off just to be able to see the granulation later on. Okay, next one, let's do the orange. So I'm going to do the same, just pick up this black from before, and there we go. Kind of looks yucky. Don't like it, so I'm just going to add a bit more of the fresh black in there. Yeah, so it does exactly what would happen if you added Mars black, which is, I think it's the same thing probably. BK or PBK 11. Okay, and then we're going to lift the excess from here. There we go. So the orange and the black should separate nicely. You can see that happening here. And then also ultramarine, be aware of it, that it will separate as well. So it will separate in the green and the purple mix. Finally, let's mix in a bit of that lunar black into the violet, or the purple mix that we have here. I could sit here for hours if no one would interrupt me and do these swatches. It's such a therapeutic thing to do. Color is very, very powerful when it comes to well-being and soothing and relaxing, and just putting your thoughts at bay and just letting you concentrate. So it's actually quite a lot of interesting thing happening with this lunar black. I find more than if I'd use a Mars black. The granulation is slightly different, the particles of the pigment. Okay, I'm going to wipe my palette here and prep it for the primary mixes with the lunar black. Let's see what happens there. Okay, so let's do yellow now. There's my yellow. Trying to be careful not to dip my brush into the candle. In fact, I have like my jar, my cup to the right, my teacup to the right of the jar, and then the candle, so my brush could end up in one of the three at any point. Okay, so here is our, oh, that's quite interesting. It's almost like a olive green type of a color, isn't it? Let me just try picking up this color here. Here's a little trick that you can do. Just rub your clean bristles on and you should be done. Okay. This, mind you, is a lovely, lovely mix, which I'm really enjoying. So that was Hansa Yellow Medium and Lunar Black. I think I might need to invest into a tube of Lunar Black. I was actually going to look at Jackson's tonight to place a new order, art supplies order, and I think this is a very interesting color. I'm glad I'm trying it out now. Alright, finally we have two more colors. So we've got the Antraquanoid Red, Antraquanoid. I have it in a pencil and it's a completely different color in the pencil. So here we go with a bit of Lunar Black. Here we come. Oh, beautiful. Now that's beautiful actually. It doesn't just mute it down with the primaries, but it actually makes a really interesting color. Very, very different to Mars Black, in fact. It must be something about the granules or the pigments. Okay, so if you wanted to like paint like a bottom of the sea or moss or things like that, this would be beautiful. Just gorgeous. Okay, finally. Oh, see the paper starting to disintegrate. Just going to pick up this little bit of the ultramarine, French ultramarine, onto here. Let me know in the comments below how you're dealing, whether your country is in the third lockdown, maybe not all of you want to talk about that, because this is the escape here from all of those thoughts. But if you feel like sharing what your tips would be, what you like to do to give yourself a nice kind of calming, relaxing atmosphere. For me, it's definitely burning candles, doing yoga in the evenings, reading when I can on my Kindle, and color. That's my holy grail and relaxing space. Okay, so this has taken quite a bit of time, and I'm trying to think. I still need to do these. I think I'm going to just now speed you through all of that, do the second circle, and then we'll come back. I'll just let you know that we have permanent orange, Imperial Purple, and phthalo green. So orange is recommended to go here. Hold on a second. Is that how it is? No. So okay. So basically orange, purple, and green. So that's what I will do. I'll mix them and come back. See you then. Okay, so they're still drying, but here we are, and it's been such an enjoyable little play with watercolors. I absolutely fell in love with that Lunar Black. There's something about the particles which I said is quite different. It almost as if, you know, when I was playing with that granulating medium, with this one here from Winsor & Newton, it kind of reminds me of that. So the particles, when I would add this to Mars Black, it would sometimes separate into these kind of clusters of particles, and that's what it reminds me of. And I think it's a really interesting color to add to any color that you have, and yeah, it's just quite pretty. Then looking at these colors, there were a few little discoveries here, or things that I would actually want to go and kind of research a little bit more and play around with these two colors. So I remember someone recommended these Imperial Purple to me because I was saying that's the only color I wouldn't add. I think it was Jane Blundell, if I'm not mistaken, the watercolor set. I reviewed it before from Daniel Smith, and anyway, so that's the only color I didn't have, and I said I'm happy to just swatch it from my big Daniel Smith 230 something dot card without buying it. And then someone said you actually might like it, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the color, and it does separate really prettily. I'm trying to think, I just want to compare it to my other purple, which I'm actually quite liking. Oh, okay, so Cobalt Blue Violet is fairly similar, but it's more on a purple, and that does exactly the same thing as this sort of separating into a bit of pink and purple with a bit of granulation. So yeah, it's an interesting color, and I like mixing it with the phthalo. A color on its own I don't like, but the turquoises you get, and then there are sort of varieties that you could mix these two colors in, depending how much water you add, how much of the purple or the green. Then there was something else quite interesting, I thought. This color, so the Imperial Purple with just the, plain basic permanent orange, gave a really interesting skin tone and with some interesting granulation of the purple. So I thought that's a good thing to note. And yeah, so I've learned a few things doing this little exercise, and it was really super fun. So I hope you liked it. We will do the same type of a thing for this other set here, the Mineral Marvels. I don't remember, I mean, this is obviously put together by a different artist, so I don't know if it has this type of exercises on the back of the cards or not. Let me just quickly have a quick look. No, it does not. Okay, so we'll just swatch these out. Do let me know in the comments box whether you'd want me to do any kind of color wheels for that one, but yeah, that's for a separate video. So thank you for watching, and see you soon.